Throughout history, humanity has grappled with the conflicting forces of war and peace. From ancient battles to modern conflicts, the desire for power and dominance has often overshadowed the pursuit of harmony and understanding. The struggle between these opposing forces is a recurring theme in human history, leaving countless lives shattered and societies in ruins. Yet amidst the chaos and destruction, the human spirit continues to yearn for a world free from violence and strife. The pursuit of peace is often met with resistance as competing ideologies and self-interest fuel tensions between nations. The allure of power and the fear of vulnerability can lead even the most well-intentioned individuals and societies down a path of conflict. Breaking free from this cycle of violence requires a fundamental shift in perspective, one that prioritizes diplomacy, empathy, and a commitment to shared humanity. Despite the challenges, the pursuit of peace remains an essential human endeavor. The consequences of war are too devastating to ignore. The loss of innocent lives, the displacement of communities, and the erosion of trust are just a few of the many costs of armed conflict. Moreover, war often begets more war, perpetuating a cycle of violence that can span generations. In a world increasingly interconnected and facing unprecedented global challenges, finding peaceful solutions to conflict is more critical than ever. Climate change, pandemics, and economic inequality demand global cooperation and a shared commitment to the well-being of all people. The path to a more peaceful future requires a collective effort to overcome divisions, bridge divides, and build a world where dialogue and diplomacy prevail over violence and destruction. Christmas, a holiday celebrated worldwide, embodies a profound paradox. It represents both peace and conflict. On the surface, Christmas evokes images of joy, family gatherings, and a spirit of goodwill. It is a time for giving, forgiveness, and celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ, who is often referred to as the Prince of Peace. Yet beneath this veneer of peace lies a deeper, more complex narrative, one that acknowledges the presence of conflict and the ongoing struggle for peace in our world. The story of Christmas itself is rooted in conflict. Jesus' birth was far from peaceful, marked by the persecution of King Herod and the flight of Mary and Joseph to Egypt to escape his wrath. Moreover, Jesus' message of love and forgiveness was met with resistance and ultimately led to his crucifixion. This juxtaposition of peace and conflict highlights the reality that true peace is not merely the absence of war, but a state of being that requires constant effort and sacrifice. The message of Christmas is not one of passive acceptance of injustice or turning a blind eye to suffering. Instead, it calls on individuals to actively pursue peace in their own lives and in the world around them. This pursuit may involve confronting injustice, speaking out against oppression, and working tirelessly to create a more just and equitable society. The paradox of Christmas serves as a reminder that peace is not a destination, but a journey. It is an ongoing process of reconciliation, forgiveness, and understanding. As we celebrate Christmas, let us not forget the true meaning behind the holiday and the call to be peacemakers in a world desperately in need of it. Artificial intelligence, or AI, is rapidly transforming the landscape of warfare, ushering in a new era of military strategy and statecraft. With its ability to process vast amounts of data, identify patterns, and make decisions at speeds far exceeding human capabilities, AI has the potential to revolutionize the way wars are fought and, potentially, how they are prevented. However, the integration of AI into military systems also raises profound ethical concerns that must be carefully considered. One of the most significant impacts of AI in warfare is its potential to enhance situational awareness and decision-making. AI-powered systems can analyze data from various sources, including satellites, drones, and sensors, to provide military commanders with a comprehensive understanding of the battlefield. This real-time information can help commanders make more informed decisions, potentially reducing casualties and minimizing collateral damage. Furthermore, AI is being developed to automate tasks currently performed by humans, such as target identification and weapon deployment. Autonomous weapon systems, often referred to as killer robots, have the potential to reduce the risk to human soldiers, but also raise concerns about accountability and the potential for unintended consequences. The development and deployment of such systems raise complex ethical questions about the role of human judgment in warfare and the potential for AI to escalate conflicts. The use of AI in warfare is not limited to the battlefield. AI is also being deployed in cyber warfare, where it can be used to launch sophisticated cyber attacks, defend against intrusions, and spread disinformation. The increasing use of AI in cyber warfare raises concerns about the potential for escalation and the blurring of lines between peacetime and wartime activities. As AI continues to advance, it is crucial to establish ethical guidelines and international agreements governing its use in warfare. The potential for autonomous weapons systems to make life or death decisions without human intervention demands careful consideration and regulation. Failing to address these ethical concerns could have devastating consequences, leading to an erosion of human control over warfare and potentially increasing the likelihood of conflict. The Republican National Convention's stance on achieving peace through military might represents a long-standing view within conservative circles, advocating for a strong national defense as the primary means of deterring aggression and maintaining global stability. This perspective, often summarized as peace through strength, asserts that a powerful military serves as a deterrent to potential adversaries, making them less likely to engage in conflict with a nation perceived as militarily superior. Proponents of this view often point to historical examples such as the Cold War, where the United States military might is credited with deterring Soviet aggression and preventing a nuclear confrontation. They argue that a weak military posture emboldens adversaries, making them more likely to test boundaries and engage in risky behavior that could lead to conflict. Maintaining a strong military, they contend, signals resolve and demonstrates a willingness to defend national interests, thus discouraging potential aggressors. Furthermore, advocates of peace through strength emphasize the importance of projecting American power abroad, arguing that a robust military presence around the world helps maintain stability and prevent regional conflicts. They support increased military spending, modernization of the armed forces, and a proactive foreign policy that assertively counters perceived threats to American interests. Critics of this approach argue that it can lead to an arms race, fueling global instability and increasing the likelihood of conflict. They contend that excessive focus on military strength can come at the expense of diplomatic efforts and undermine attempts to address the root causes of conflict. Moreover, they express concerns about the economic costs associated with maintaining a large military and the potential for military interventions to backfire, leading to unintended consequences and further destabilizing already volatile regions. The peace through strength doctrine represents a complex and often controversial approach to foreign policy. While its proponents argue for its effectiveness in deterring aggression and maintaining global order, critics caution against its potential to exacerbate tensions and undermine diplomatic solutions. As the world grapples with evolving security challenges, the debate over the role of military might in achieving peace is likely to continue. Section 5. Ethical considerations of AI in warfare. The increasing integration of artificial intelligence into military systems raises a host of ethical considerations that demand careful scrutiny and debate. As AI plays a more prominent role in warfare, it is crucial to establish clear ethical guidelines and international agreements to govern its development and deployment. Failing to do so could have profound consequences, potentially leading to an erosion of human control over warfare and an increase in the likelihood of unintended consequences. One of the most pressing ethical concerns surrounding AI in warfare is the issue of autonomous weapons systems, often referred to as killer robots. These systems, equipped with AI algorithms, have the potential to select and engage targets without human intervention. While proponents argue that autonomous weapons could reduce casualties by removing human emotion and error from the battlefield, critics express serious concerns about accountability, proportionality, and the potential for unintended escalation. Accountability in the context of autonomous weapons systems presents a significant ethical challenge. If an autonomous weapon makes a mistake, causing unintended civilian casualties or violating international law, who is held responsible? Is it the programmer, the manufacturer, the commanding officer, or the AI system itself? The lack of clear lines of accountability raises serious legal and moral questions that must be addressed before such systems are deployed. Proportionality, a cornerstone of international humanitarian law, requires that military actions distinguish between combatants and civilians, and that the use of force be proportionate to the military advantage sought. Ensuring that AI systems can make such nuanced judgments in the heat of battle, where information is often incomplete and time is of the essence, presents a significant ethical and technical challenge. Furthermore, the deployment of autonomous weapons systems could lower the threshold for conflict, making it easier for nations to engage in warfare without the political risks associated with human casualties. This could lead to an increase in the frequency and intensity of conflicts, with potentially devastating consequences for global security. Another ethical consideration is the potential for AI to exacerbate existing biases. AI algorithms are trained on vast datasets, and if these datasets reflect existing societal biases, the resulting AI systems could perpetuate and even amplify those biases. In the context of warfare, this could lead to discriminatory targeting or an increased likelihood of collateral damage in marginalized communities. Addressing these ethical concerns requires a multifaceted approach involving policymakers, ethicists, technologists, and the international community. It is essential to establish clear international norms and regulations governing the development and use of AI in warfare. These regulations should prioritize human control over critical functions, ensure accountability for AI actions, and promote the responsible and ethical development of AI technologies. Section 6. Reconciling opposing views. Finding common ground. The contrasting perspectives on achieving peace, whether through military strength or diplomatic efforts, highlight the complexity of navigating international relations and the ongoing search for effective solutions to conflict. While these views may appear diametrically opposed, there is potential for finding common ground and pursuing strategies that incorporate elements of both. One area of potential convergence is the recognition that a strong national defense can serve as a deterrent to aggression, while acknowledging that military force alone cannot achieve lasting peace. A balanced approach might involve maintaining a robust military capable of defending national interests while simultaneously prioritizing diplomacy, conflict resolution, and addressing the underlying causes of conflict, such as poverty, inequality, and political oppression. Furthermore, both perspectives can find common ground in the need for strong alliances and international cooperation. Building and maintaining strong relationships with allies can enhance deterrence, provide a united front against aggression, and facilitate diplomatic solutions to crises. International organizations such as the United Nations can play a crucial role in mediating disputes, providing humanitarian assistance, and promoting dialogue between conflicting parties. Another area of potential convergence is the emphasis on responsible leadership and a commitment to international law and norms. Regardless of their stance on military intervention, most agree that military actions should be a last resort, taken only after all peaceful options have been exhausted. Adhering to international law, respecting sovereignty, and engaging in good faith negotiations are essential for building trust, reducing tensions, and creating an environment conducive to peaceful resolution. Finding common ground between opposing views on achieving peace requires a willingness to engage in dialogue, understand different perspectives, and identify areas of shared interest. By embracing a nuanced approach that recognizes the complexities of international relations and the limitations of any single approach, it is possible to pursue strategies that incorporate the strengths of both military deterrence and diplomacy. Section 7. The human cost of conflict. War, in all its forms, exacts a devastating toll on humanity, leaving a trail of physical, emotional, and societal scars that can linger for generations. The human cost of conflict extends far beyond the battlefield, impacting individuals, families, and communities in profound and often irreversible ways. Understanding the true cost of war is essential for fostering a commitment to peace and seeking alternative solutions to conflict. One of the most visible and heartbreaking consequences of war is the loss of innocent lives. Civilians, often caught in the crossfire, bear a disproportionate burden in modern conflicts. Indiscriminate bombings, landmines, and the use of explosive weapons in populated areas result in countless civilian casualties, leaving families shattered and communities devastated. Beyond the immediate loss of life, war inflicts lasting physical and psychological wounds on survivors. Combatants and civilians alike may suffer severe injuries, requiring extensive medical care and rehabilitation. Many live with chronic pain, disabilities, and the psychological scars of trauma, including post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety, and depression. The displacement of populations is another devastating consequence of war. Armed conflict often forces people to flee their homes in search of safety, creating a global refugee crisis. Displaced persons face numerous challenges, including lack of access to basic necessities, separation from loved ones, and the uncertainty of an unknown future. Host countries often struggle to accommodate the influx of refugees, straining resources and exacerbating social tensions. War also has a profound impact on children, who are particularly vulnerable to its harmful effects. Children exposed to violence may suffer physical injuries, psychological trauma, and the disruption of their education. They may witness atrocities, lose loved ones, or be forced to become child soldiers, robbing them of their childhood and jeopardizing their future. The societal costs of war are equally profound. Conflict destroys infrastructure, disrupts economies, and undermines social institutions. Warring factions often target schools, hospitals, and cultural heritage sites, further eroding the fabric of society. The long-term consequences of war can include poverty, disease, environmental degradation, and cycles of violence that span generations. Recognizing the immense human cost of conflict is essential for fostering a commitment to peace and seeking alternative solutions to violence. Investing in diplomacy, conflict resolution, and peace-building efforts is not only a moral imperative, but also a pragmatic approach to creating a more stable, just, and prosperous world for all. Section 8. The enduring pursuit of peace. Despite the seemingly intractable nature of conflict and the recurring horrors of war, the human spirit continues to yearn for peace. The pursuit of a world free from violence and strife is an enduring aspect of the human experience, reflected in religious teachings, philosophical treatises, artistic expressions, and the everyday actions of individuals and communities around the world. Throughout history, peacemakers and activists have emerged, challenging the status quo, advocating for non-violent solutions, and inspiring others to join their cause. From Mahatma Gandhi's philosophy of non-violent resistance to Martin Luther King Jr.'s fight for civil rights, their examples demonstrate the power of peaceful action to challenge injustice and create a more just and equitable world. The pursuit of peace is not a passive endeavor, but an active and often challenging undertaking. It requires courage, compassion, and an unwavering belief in the possibility of a better future. Peacemakers often face opposition, ridicule, and even violence for their beliefs. Yet they persist, driven by a deep conviction that dialogue, understanding, and empathy are more powerful than hatred, division, and violence. Numerous organizations and individuals around the world are working tirelessly to promote peace, address the root causes of conflict, and build bridges between divided communities. They engage in conflict resolution, mediation, and peace-building efforts, often in the most challenging and dangerous environments. Their work, though often unseen and unheralded, is essential to creating a more peaceful world. The pursuit of peace is a collective responsibility requiring the participation of individuals, communities, nations, and international organizations. It involves addressing the systemic factors that contribute to conflict, such as poverty, inequality, discrimination, and lack of access to education and opportunity. It also requires fostering a culture of peace based on respect for human rights, tolerance, and the peaceful resolution of differences. While the path to peace may be long and arduous, the human desire for a world free from violence and strife remains a powerful force for change. By embracing compassion, understanding, and a commitment to non-violent solutions, we can create a future where peace is not just an aspiration but a lived reality for all. Section 9. Conclusion: a hope for a more peaceful future. The enduring struggle between war and peace continues to shape the course of human history as we navigate the complexities of a world grappling with evolving security threats, technological advancements, and the enduring challenges of conflict. The pursuit of peace remains both a moral imperative and a strategic necessity. While the horrors of war serve as a stark reminder of the fragility of peace, the unwavering human spirit, with its capacity for compassion, forgiveness, and a yearning for harmony, offers hope for a more peaceful future. Achieving this vision requires a multifaceted approach encompassing diplomacy, conflict resolution, addressing the root causes of conflict, and fostering a culture of peace. The integration of artificial intelligence into warfare presents both opportunities and challenges. While AI has the potential to enhance situational awareness, reduce civilian casualties, and deter aggression, it also raises profound ethical concerns about accountability, proportionality, and the potential for unintended consequences. Establishing clear ethical guidelines and international agreements governing the development and deployment of AI in warfare is crucial to mitigating these risks and ensuring that AI serves humanity, not the other way around. Ultimately, the pursuit of peace is a collective endeavor requiring the participation of individuals, communities, nations, and international organizations. It demands a commitment to dialogue, understanding, and a willingness to seek common ground despite differing perspectives. By embracing a nuanced approach that recognizes the complexities of our world and the interconnectedness of our shared humanity, we can strive towards a future where war is not inevitable, but a relic of the past, and where peace, in its fullest sense, prevails.